mercy never failed me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Well, just in case you've missed it, that was Sanchez with one of his spectacular performances at Sanchez Live in Concert. All of February, we are celebrating Reggae Month with a host of live activities across the island. I'm Adrian Atkinson, so glad you could join us for another exciting edition of Jamaica Magazine. Don't change that channel. We have a lot lined up just for you. See you on the flip side of this break.
Well, okay, me and my friends are some big deals. You know, say man very, very, very important. You know, say man important for real. You listen up, it's like you have the Prime Minister, Lord, and then you have a way. That's how the order in a few country. Yes, that's the status of the hierarchy. Ask anybody about
nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
Here we are with already, several highlights of the month. So we're looking forward to the rest of Reggae Month. It's really looking to be a good month.
You've heard it. We are in the height of Reggae Month celebrations. If you've missed out on any aspects of the happening so far, don't worry. We've got you covered. Watch this.
This is Reggae Month and this is Reggae Service.
Let me tell you who I am, who God says I am. I know who I am, I'm who God says I am.
Reggae Month 2023 was officially launched on January 29 with a church service.
It no matter what nobody wants to say, cause that God make me, I'm special every day. Fearfully, wonderfully made, put my crown on the head, royalty.
After a 2-year shift of hosting only virtual activities due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Reggae Month 2023 has hopped off the virtual train and is back with daily in-person live events across the country. It promises to be more inclusive this time around with its theme, Come Catch the Rhythm. For the entire month of February, activities have been planned to focus on highlighting the significant impact reggae music has had on the world and its immeasurable benefits to Jamaicans.
Reggae music has been recognized as one of the most dynamic creations of people of African descent that has fortified and brought together the aspirations of our people. Through reggae, the everyday Jamaican and vulnerable poor among us have been able to create livelihoods of substance that brought wealth and purpose to their lives and those of their families and communities.
The month of activities kick-started on Wednesday, February 1 with a tribute to reggae icon Dennis Brown.
cause I'm a big deal. Yeah, Dennis Brown is a big. Pull up, pull up. You love reggae music, how everybody be a sing. La, la, I wanna hear you sing again. Now give me the mix, now give me the mix, now give me the mix. You got to live, 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 live. And when I say you gotta love, 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 love.
Mine to go on now, living this way, acting like a child so young and gay. You don't know what it means to be loved.
On Thursday, February 2, the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center came alive with Sanchez in concert, delivering a spectacular performance alongside Flower Gun and Richie Stevens.
Oh, I don't seem to be caught up inside our dream all my life. It's always been my shadow in me. Well, over my shoulder there's always a voice somewhere saying I never should try to set my heart free. I don't wanna show some respect to my virgin. If he was here tonight, he will give you something like this. Guess I didn't tell you how I feel. I know my loving is real. From the crown of my head to the sole of my feet. And what is this that I feel? Taking control of me. And my body's in trouble. It's you that I need, yeah. And is it how you walk? Is it how you talk? Is it how you smile that make me come alive? I wanna know what it is about you.
Ooh, the shape of me. Hey! Wouldn't believe I've lost the race again. And I'm coming again, cause I just gotta get in. Everybody, and I'm trying to get to you. Sometimes I'm inevitable. Don't let the love get you down. Everybody, don't let the things they say and do
Weaken your heart and conquer you.
just make your life in a one of two.
And I know Jah will see you through.
They all wanna see you fall and stumble
Along the way, yeah.
but Jah is great, so keep the faith.
God, you did my
Everybody, get on up, stand up. Oh. Cause when we check it out, Lord, no way no better than all Jamaicans. Oh, when we check it out, Lord, no way no better than. Hear me now, me say Jamaican pass me hear you. Say all who never, learn to dance. Come down and people getting you gun dance, getting you gun dance, getting good time dancing, come back again. When for walk on your bike, pass it up again. Good time. Now listen to me, I don't want to know. When for walk on, what's this? The other dance, shout out and bust somebody.
It was just fantastic, and this is just a plus for reggae music. And also, it's a message out there that no matter what you do, you can't hold back reggae music.
It was just a nice vibe, and I just want everyone to stay tuned for other such great evenings.
The month is not just about entertainment. It also promises to be educational with the hosting of symposiums. Catch Reggae Conversation with industry practitioners and personalities, the showcasting of documentaries, and an exhibition of dancehall posters over the years. Come watch live in concert, tributes to some of our greats who have passed on. Stay tuned for the Reggae Golden Awards, when several artists will be celebrated for their contribution to brand Jamaica, and so much more.
She's giving me double for my troubles.
Twice the love and affection.
When this world comes stumbling down, she's there for her man, yeah.
We closed out the first week of Reggae Month celebrations, congratulating Kabaka Pyramid for winning Best Reggae Album at the 65th Annual Grammy Awards held in Los Angeles in the United States. Kabaka Pyramid won with his album The Calling, which was produced by Damian Jr. Gong Marley. Be sure to download the Reggae Jamaica app for Reggae Month's daily activities and entertainment so you don't skip a beat. After all, they are free of cost to you.
So now that you've been refreshed and re-energized about the happenings of Reggae Month, we take you now to the roots of reggae for an even deeper appreciation.
The music industry has been quite well documented, and to my recollection, it started more of an effort to play music that other people couldn't play than as an industry. So from where it started, for me, it started with sound system owners who wanting to remain exclusive, decided that the best way to do that was to, produce their own stuff. And people saw how important it was. Artists were, coming up. I think it was the birth of an industry. reggae is the soundtrack of our lives, you know. In other words, it's not like we made an effort to boy, we're gonna like reggae. Reggae is of us, about us, with us, and it has remained true to us as a Jamaican expression. And when I say reggae, I don't make the distinction between fast reggae, slow reggae, ska. I just call Jamaican music reggae. It was very unstructured in the beginning and persisted like that for a number of years until people like Chris Blackwell saw the financial possibilities involved in investing. So I guess it really came to front with the Millie Small, that big hit that he had, and people started to see money. So this could in fact be an industry, and how popular music like ska was, that it gave rise to, you know, songs and bands, and people. Jamaica was dancing and people were enjoying themselves, and it probably was a good time in the history of Jamaica. Not everybody can do the twist. It kind of unearthed that creative spirit in Jamaican, and we broke all of the recording rules, but we came up with a product that kind of represented the kind of Jamaican spirit and that indomitable spirit, and it gave a sort of voice or expression to our Africanness. Like everybody growing up in my age, we had two sets of things. I grew up in the golden age of both Jamaican music and the Motown era and the Philadelphia era. And radio played a lot of American music. We were naturally drawn to the best of American music. But you realize that when you got to a party and they started to play the local section of music, because it was talking about things that you were familiar with. You went, you know, and then you were able to see these individuals at stage shows and parties. So it became even more personal.
Standing at the party, watch me now. Ice cream, watch ya. Me a chat microphone from Melico stuff.
Music is just being constantly made. I don't think we have taken time out to actually figure out how we're gonna monetize the creation of all this music. But it is there. It is being consumed in every nook and cranny of Jamaica, every bar, everything, and in households. And then we have this phenomenon of this weekly dance, this nightly dance, music thing on corners. And it has opened up a lot of economic opportunities for people in corners, bars, you know, people selling on the road. And so it is almost self-sustaining by the nature of how it is done. So it is always going to be part of our lifestyle. From the 70s, 80s, 90s, Jamaica celebrated a number of great icons. You know, we talk about the Ernest Smiths, the Pluto Shervintons, the Dennis Browns, you know, the Gregory Isaacs, the Alton Ellis, and then we get into the megastar region of the Jimmy Cliffs and the Peter Tosh, and then the Bob Marleys.
I can't refuse it. Oh, what you be got to be. Well, I feel like dancing.
Growing up, Dennis Brown was everybody's favorite singer. So when I got an opportunity to work with him, it was like the crowning, day in my life, in my musical history.
My head is anointed, and my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow all the days of my life.
I was led into professional music through some people that already in music. And the first time I got into a recording studio and became a part of that creative process, I was hooked for life, I realized earlier I didn't have the singing talent like a lot of my friends and compadres, but I realized that my contribution could be through songwriting and later into production and later on into just mentoring young people. Because we have a studio at Grafton and we have a really close association with the Jamaica School of Music, I get a front seat, front row look at a lot of the young talent coming out. And then we have a rehearsal room where we are now, and we have a studio, so I get to see and hear a lot of the young talent and older talent And here at Grafton we provide a sort of meeting place. I'm really always excited about introducing, new artists to old artists.
We're now changing lanes, of course, with our indicator on. If you don't use your indicator, there's a fine of $2,500. Yes, $2,500. Question: do you own a motor vehicle? Are you planning on owning one? Well, there are some very important things that you should know and pay keen attention to. One such, the tires. Watch this.
I have absolutely no idea what this is or what it's even used for. But today on Autospot, I'm going to be learning all about tires, and who knows, I might even end up changing one myself.
A tire is a ring-shaped component that surrounds the rim, which helps to cushion the road feel and offer traction and stability of the vehicle. You have all-purpose tires, which can use in all terrain. You have wet tires. For wet tires, it's for like wet road condition. You cannot use a dry tire in the wet season. You get slippage. For the tire to be completely functional, you need the rim, you need air to be inflated in the tire to get it to the correct air pressure so that it's suitable for road condition. A cold tire is when the temperature inside the tire is reduced to like normal road temperature. At that time is the correct time to check the air pressure within the tire to give you an accurate reading. For the hot tires now is when you're driving on the road for a long duration of time and the heat inside the tire builds up and increases the pressure inside the tire. Tire inflation is the pressure inside the tire, which can be in kilopascal, bars, or PSI. There's an instrument called the tire pressure gauge, which I have here with me. You use to take the tire pressure. I can demonstrate for you. First, we'll have to remove the dust cap from off the tire. Place the tire pressure gauge on the tire valve, and it automatically pushes out the tire pressure gauge and give you the correct reading.
The driver still needs to play a big role in the safety of the vehicle on the road. Now, we see a lot of vehicles coming into our premises at our body shop, and we see a lot of accidents that could have been easily prevented. People texting, people not paying due care and attention when they're on the road.
The tire normally has a manufacture date on the side. From that date in which the tire was produced, you can know when the tire needs to be changed. Within 4 to 6 years of the manufacture date, the tire is due for replacement.
But what if I'm on the road and I have a flat tire? What do I do?
Okay. The first step is to park the vehicle in a secure location, flat surface. Pull up the emergency handbrake, ensure that the vehicle don't run back or anything. Then you gather your tools, including a jack, lug tool for the job. Alright. Here you have the lug. You're gonna place the lug tool on that, ensure that the correct lug tool is fit perfectly, and you push it down in the anti-clockwise position.
Okay.
And you do that for all 5 lugs.
Okay, and it's usually 5 lugs?
No, some vehicles carry 4, some carry 5, some carry 6. But for this application, it's 5.
Okay. So what else do you do after that?
After you remove the lugs, you remove the complete wheel and you have it all for yourself. Then you go for your spare and place it back on here and screw on back. You tighten back your lugs
Alright, so this is what you use to tighten it back?
Yeah, this is the lug tool.
So you're going in the other direction?
Yeah, clockwise. Turning. And you always tighten diagonal. Right, you tighten in the clockwise direction.
So which one?
Clockwise.
First.
It can be anyone, but you have to tighten it diagonal. This, then this, and this. Yeah. Cross and cross. So the wheel go on even. And then let down the vehicle, and then you finally torque the lugs to make sure that they are correctly tight.
Where do we usually find the spare tires?
Alright, depending on the vehicle type, sometimes the spare is under the vehicle and the back of the trunk or inside the trunk.
So it's not as simple as it seems, but it's clearly doable. It's all in a day's work, well, at least for a newbie like me. But really it should take about 10 to 15 minutes to change. I can promise you there's so much value in learning to get the job done. I certainly feel accomplished.
Now that you've gotten a crash course on your motor vehicle tires, here's now another critical piece of information that you should also know.
You know how they say accidents do happen, unexpectedly and often unintentionally. Though road safety experts no longer define these unfortunate incidents involving motor vehicles as accidents, they're certainly never intended. Unfavorable weather conditions, objects on the road, your miscalculation while driving, or another driver can cause crashes, even for the best defensive drivers. That's exactly why it's important to know how to respond in these situations. So, what do you do at that exact moment? What should be your next steps? And when and how should you file a police report?
For the number of reports that come to this station, perhaps it's on a basis of about 10 to 15 per day. That's the number of accidents per day. So after a road traffic accident, person should first try to clear the roadway if they're obstructing the traffic for other motorists. Secondly, drivers are expected to exchange vehicle documents, and the document should include their registration certificate, certificate of fitness, insurance certificate, and your driver's license information. Those are the essential 4 pieces of information that should be provided to both parties after an accident. Contact information is optional, but you have cases where a person tries to settle outside insurance, and that's now a civil matter. It's an agreement between both parties, so if they want to exchange contact information, that's also optional, depending on the intention that they have in terms of fixing the vehicle outside insurance or what.
Your next step? Making a police report about the collision. This is always a good idea. That way you have proof of exactly what happened and the scope of any injuries.
In terms of our approach as police officers for a motor vehicle accident, first the critical thing is to check for injuries, make sure that persons are okay. If there's a need for persons to be assisted to the hospital for any sort of treatment, we should make sure we render assistance to persons in need of that care first. Secondly, we check for the damage for the vehicles, make sure there is no obstruction along the roadway, and then we can treat with the documents or the exchange of particulars between both parties. After making a report of a motor vehicle accident, the next step that persons are advised to do is to make a report to their insurance company, and that's for another motorist. As it relates to a pedestrian persons who are injured, they are also advised to get the assistance of an attorney to file a personal injury claim against the party that is liable in the accident. For follow-up visits, what we do, we have cases where persons are seriously injured, some of which are not able to make it to the station to give a report in the first instance. So what we try to do, whether the persons are hospitalized, we ensure that visits are made and that the person's conditions are updated as we go along. As we through the investigation, we ensure that the person's conditions are updated along the procedure.
But are you always required to report traffic collisions?
Not in all cases a report must be filed for accidents. We have situations where it could be a very minor mishap. For example, someone could be reversing from their garage, they could bump their gate. So in those cases, it's not necessary for them to make a report. But for other situations involving another motorist, or a case where a pedestrian or a property is damaged, a report is expected to be made because persons at times are expected to make claims, whether from their insurance company or their attorneys, based on the damage received or the injuries they've sustained.
On a more global level, studies from the World Health Organization (WHO) show that approximately 1.35 million people die each year as a result of road traffic crashes, and 3% of most countries' gross domestic product is spent on road traffic crashes.
The most common cause of motor vehicle accidents, from my understanding, it's mostly impatience on the part of some of the drivers and lack of knowledge as to how the roadways should be used. And I also believe the implementation of traffic signs at various areas would also aid the process, because most drivers are not aware of what to do at various parts of the roadway.
In the face of such figures, even the most careful driver can suddenly encounter a bit of bad fortune on the road. You know that saying, decisions can be like car accidents, sudden and full of consequences. So how about making the right decision to be responsible road users today?
We've come to the end of the show, but you can rewatch today's offering or other content like this by visiting our website, jis.gov.jm. Be sure to join us again tomorrow on the same station as we bring another exciting installment of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkins, and see you next time.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.